And before we continue with today's session, I'd like us to do an acknowledgement of traditional lands. Royal Rhodes University acknowledges that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Cossepsim, and which is also the Esquimalt, and the Lekwungen, which is also the Songhees, ancestors and families. It is with gratitude that we now learn and work here, where the past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff come together. So today's session is on the Doctor of Business Administration. I am joined here by Dr. Hassan Wafai. He is the program head, and my name is Imara Angus, and I'm an education advisor. On the call today, we also have the enrollment team, Tracy and Kelsey. They're our domestic and international enrollment team. They'll be supporting us by answering any questions. And we have Andrea and Manuel as well here to support today's session. So welcome everybody, thank you for joining us. This is the agenda for today. A get to know one another, which we're doing right now. If you haven't commented in the chat where you're joining us from, you can pop that in there. And we're going to do a brief overview of the Royal Rhodes University experience, program-specific information, application process and requirements, and questions throughout. So pop those questions as they come up in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them throughout. We'll also leave a bit of time at the end to answer them. So why explore Royal Rhodes University? It's a good question, right? And here at Royal Rhodes, we see life as a qualification. We understand that every single person has a different journey to get to where they are now. And we look at that through our admission process. And at Royal Rhodes, we really care about your first name. We want to know who you are. We want to know your journey. We want to know your story. And we know this experience is personal to you. And one of the ways we show that is through knowing your first name. And we get to know your first name fast. And really focusing on learning based on life. That idea that there's no in here and out there. Learning is kind of transcends and is integrated between the school and your life and work. And we believe in connections for life, that you're going to build a network here that you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life. And at Royal Rhodes, we were built differently from day one. We've always had a blended and online learnings, and we're a very different university. And I'm looking forward to sharing how and why we are different with you. And we're also a Changemaker campus, so an Ashoka U Changemaker campus. And Royal Rhodes has been recognized for being a leader in change and social innovation. And the Ashoka U Changemaker campus is a global network of over 40 universities and colleges committed to advancing social innovation and change making. And our space, so we're located in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Here are some images from campus. On the top left is our castle. We do have a castle, Hatley Castle. Give me actually a thumbs up if you recognize Hatley Castle from movies such as X-Men or Deadpool. And I can imagine a few of you are thinking, I don't recognize it, but I'm going to go watch those movies later today. So I encourage that. And then on the top right is an image of a bridge in our gardens. That's specifically from the Japanese gardens. And we have a beautiful garden on campus, as well as just diverse ecosystem, very Pacific Northwest, beautiful hiking trails on campus. It's a gorgeous place to go for walks. You can see on the bottom left, actually, that's Esquimalt Lagoon, and we see that from campus. And as I mentioned earlier, we've been teaching online for over 25 years. Wonderful. And now I'd love to welcome up Dr. Hassan Wafai to focus on our program structure and take you through more information about the DBA.
Mara, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Maybe good evening for some of you here. I see some of you joining from India and Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Hassan Wafai. From the name, clearly I was born outside Canada. I came to Canada 2010. I joined Royal Road 2013. And with my colleagues, we designed a program, DBA program, as a unique program in Canada. It's unique, and we're going to talk about why it is unique in a minute. So I'm very, it's my pleasure to join you today and talk about the program. Mara, next slide. I will ask you, Mara, every now and then to move on to the next slide, if you don't mind. So what is the Doctor of Business Administration DBA program? DBA program is it's a doctoral program. It's a doctorate. A doctorate in business administration. It's based in Canada. It's based in BC. It's unique. The most important feature, it's unique. Why it's unique? It's a research-based doctoral program oriented to applied business management research. So every word, it counts. And we're going to talk a little bit about each of these words later on. It's a research-based doctoral program. Yes, it has some taught element courses, but it's mainly research-oriented program. The focus of the program is on applied business research. That is a practice-oriented research. It has a blended design. The blended design, and again, we're going to talk a little bit about what is blended design. Blended design, it's when you have a mix of on-campus residencies with online components. These two components are mixed in a program in the way that will allow you to continue your work, your full-time work, while you're doing your doctorate. And that is a model that Royal Road developed. Actually, it's now common in universities, across universities in Canada. But Royal Road, as Imara said, was one of the pioneers of that model, where students come to attend residency, short intensive residency, but most of the program it's online. Royal Road, and here's the important point I would like to mention. The last point you can see on the screen. Royal Road DBA is designed to integrate applied and professional orientation of professional doctorate with the research emphasis of a PhD. Now, the most common doctoral program is a conventional PhD program. PhD program, I'm sure everyone here will have some experience with PhD program. I mean, in the way that you have a friend, you have a colleague, you have a relative who did PhD. I did myself PhD program. PhD program is a very conventional. Normally, it's designed for master graduates to continue their research. You work under the supervision of a supervisor, a senior supervisor, to develop research. It's a pure research-oriented program. That's a conventional PhD. Now, on the other hand, you have the practical doctorate, which is also common in Europe. Practical doctorate is a course-based program. It's a kind of like an MBA, but enriched MBA. Now, the DBA, Royal Road DBA program, it's what we call it hybrid, in the way that it combines the rigor, the research of PhD program with the focus of applied doctorate or practice-oriented, doctorate. This will explain perhaps why we say DBA program is a research-based doctoral program oriented to applied business management research. Next slide, Imara. And by the way, as I'm explaining the program and different elements of it, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to grab a mic and ask a question if you have any question about the program. So program at a glance, it's a 60 credit program, like any doctoral program, 60 credit, hybrid design. Now you know what hybrid design means. It focuses on knowledge production. So at a master level, you focus on applying knowledge. You learn some theory, you learn a model, a concept, and then you will take that concept to apply it in your organization. That's master. Now, at the doctoral level, it's not about applying the concept, rather than it's more about producing knowledge, actionable knowledge, relevant to theory. So the program, like any doctoral program, again, subscribes to knowledge production mode. The length of program is 4 to 7 years. We'll say it's between 4 to 7. It could be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. Depends, but that is on average. I see here comment on chat. I'm not following the chat per se, but Imara, if there is a question I'm missing, please let me know. So I see here Rahil Anwar, differences between PhD and DBA. Thank you for the question, Rahil. As I noted, a PhD, it's a conventional research-oriented program. If you were to do the PhD program, then it's a full-time, on-campus, most of the time program. The PhD program designed to produce faculty member. For those who would like to work in academia, PhD, normally it's a very convenient, it's the right option. Now, interestingly, in Canada, 75 to 80% of PhD graduate, they don't end in academia. Actually, they end in the industry, and they are not equipped to work in the industry. PhD will not prepare you to work in the industry. DBA, it's a hybrid. You still can work in academia, but you have more opportunities, or you will be more equipped to join in industry. So in short, PhD, it's a pure research intensive. It focuses on producing faculty. It's less flexible in terms of working and studying. DBA, it's research intensive. It combines the research rigor and of a conventional PhD and the applied focus of a practical DBA. And it also allows you to work and study. I see here, okay. So I think we skip one slide, Imara. Yes, here you go. So the program length is 4 to 7 years. I just wanted to say a little bit about the delivery. It's a blended delivery. So it's a cohort phase. You work in a group as cohort through the program. Doctoral program normally is a very isolated journey, individualized journey. But at Royal Road, we make sure to work with cohorts that will be your safety net. So you will attend intensive residency with them, and you're going to work online with them throughout your program. It's a competency-based approach. We're going to talk a little bit about competency-based approach, and the competency-based approach very much aligned with the knowledge production philosophy that the program adopts. Next slide, please. Yes, here we go. So overall structure of the program, you can see here the overall structure. It's not detailed schedule. Detailed schedule will come in the next slide. This is just the overall structure. You can see here they are each line in the screen. It's 1 year. The program consists of 3 phases. The phase 1, it's 1 year, the first line, which is the foundations year, which is a course-based phase. So in this phase, you will have 6 courses. You can see the blue boxes are courses. So MGMT 700, MGMT 705, MGMT 17110, and so on. These are courses you will have in the first year, over the first year. All these courses online. So you will do these courses online with your cohort. At the beginning of the first year, and you can see the first block here, block 1, you will see MGMTA workshops, which is the residency. So that is the beginning of the first year. You will attend residency here in BC, Victoria. It's 2-week residency. Once you complete the first year, you go through all courses, then you will advance to the second year, which is research preparation. Research preparation, where you will attend a second residency at the beginning of the second year, and you work with your supervisory committee on your research. That is the second, that's over the second year. Third and fourth year, it's the time to write and execute your research after you design and you get your proposal approved. Then you work with your committee on executing, collecting data, analyzing data, and writing up. At the beginning of the fourth year, you will attend the third residency, which is MGMTC workshop. So you can see here we have 3 residency. The first one, first year, second one, second year, and third one, fourth year. That's the overall schedule of the program. Can we move on to the next slide? Here what you see, that symbol schedule, at least symbol from my point of view, now it is translated into dates, specific dates. So what you see, and that's what you see online. So you will see the first year, the foundation year, which is a course-based, MGMT 700, MGMT 705. You see the left column. You can see here the pointers. Thank you, Amara. Great. So these are the courses that you will take in the first year, and you see the dates of these courses, and that's the first year. Now, year 2, you see here, I mean down, year 2 research preparation phase. You will do the Candidacy exam, you will attend the residency, and you will start your dissertation. Year 3 and 4, very at the bottom of the page, you can see year 3 and 4, execution and writing phase, where you will write your thesis and submit it. Okay, I see here a question from Natasha. Do you continue to work with cohort in all years or switch to more independent work? Thank you, Natasha. Actually, the cohort philosophy, it's part of Royal Road delivery model, because Royal Road specialized in adult education. So the philosophy is that you work with a cohort through courses. Now that is very much true at a master level, but it's also true at a doctoral level, but in a different way. The first year, Natasha, yes, you're gonna work with your cohort through courses. Second, third, fourth year, if you're required to go through the fourth year, you will stay part of the cohort, but it's not that you will deliver assignment with them. No, it's part of your network. So you're gonna meet together, you're gonna do residency, you're gonna exchange idea, you're gonna present your work, to them, and they present your work to you. That's very important. That kind of conversation, we call it here learning conversation, is a very important learning aspect. So you present your work to your cohort present your work to you. Does that address the question, Natasha? Or Tasha? Yes, Natasha.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an important question. I see here also from Shaban Mushtaq, what is Candidacy exam? Okay, the Candidacy exam in a conventional PhD program, we have what's called comprehensive exam. That's equivalent to the comprehensive exam. We have a Candidacy exam. The Candidacy exam, it's not like a normal exam. You have questions and answers. No. You will submit a report to your committee, and your committee will comment on the report and send it back to you, and then you will have the oral part of the exam where you will meet with your committee and discuss the report and your progress. Basically, the Candidacy exam is designed to give you the opportunity to talk about your research, to talk about the topics involved in your research, the framework, the theories that are involved in your research. Candidacy exam is due after you finish all your coursework. Once you finish all your coursework, the first year, you do the Candidacy exam. Once you pass the Candidacy exam, you submit the final version of the proposal. Hope that addressed your question, Shaban. Okay. Tracy, I see Tracy here. Interesting question. Thank you, Tracy. Amjad Bassett, why it takes between 4 to 7 years? Can I delay some course then? Thank you, Amjad. Why does it take between 4 to 7 years? That's a standard. That's standard. I mean, doctoral study between 4 to 7 years. The first year are courses. You will need to complete these courses to move to the next phase. These courses are designed to get you ready to do the research. So these courses very much preparatory courses. I don't see the reason why would you delay any of these courses, but yes, it's possible. I mean, we're flexible. How many in cohort? In cohort between anything between 12 to 15, sometime 18, sometime 12. But that's the average between 12 to maybe, I will say 18, maybe to be more accurate. Looking at the question, am I allowed to be a professor in any university based on DBA? And can I add doctor with my, yes. Now, in order to teach in a college or university, you will need doctorate to have a sustained job in a university or a college. DBA, certainly it is, it will be sufficient for you to apply for professor positions in a college or a university. And yes, you can add the doctor to your name. Okay. Okay, these are the questions I have so far. Thank you. Of course, I'm happy to expand on any of these questions, and if my answer does not satisfy the question itself, please ask again. I'm here to address any question. So as we noted, this explained, you will have 6 courses in the first year, and these courses are, again, these courses designed to get you ready to start your research. The program is about research. The program is about coming up with a new knowledge. It's about contributing to human knowledge. So the courses are designed to prepare you to the research phase. So this is the foundation year. 2 courses about management theories and thoughts. 3 courses about research design. That's 5 now. And the 6th course, it's one-to-one course. You work with one instructor, one student, one instructor only in one course. And that's a 6-month course where you will start dive deep into your literature or the literature in the area that you are interested in. 3 residencies, 2 weeks. The first residency, 2 weeks. That means you will need to attend residency on campus for 2 weeks, and then 1 week, the second year, and the 4th year, 1 week residency. Now, the residency, for those who've been or who are familiar with Royal Road model, or maybe other university where they do have residencies. Residencies at a master level is course-based residencies. That means you will be involved in the courses during residency. While at the doctoral level, in the DBA program, it's more about workshop-based residency. It's very much like a conference-based residency. So the residency is designed around workshops. Some of these workshops that you will run yourself. That means you will present your work to other students, to faculty. You will meet faculty. Faculty will present their work to you. The residencies aim at giving you opportunity to engage in learning conversations, meaningful learning conversation with your peers, with faculty, and with professionals in your field, to present your research, to critique other research, and to get feedback on your own research. I see something here in chat. Okay. Shaban, I will complete my MBA in fall 2000. Am I eligible for DBA program starting to join? Well, Shaban, I wouldn't say you are or you are not at this point. What I will advise you is to connect with enrollment advisor to discuss a case-specific situation. So details about, well, if I finish, I think instead of giving you a quick answer, I think enrollment advisor will take time to understand your case and then provide you with accurate, precise feedback. Rahil, I have done MSc in accounting from University of London. It's a good university, and currently student in University on Canada West in Vancouver for MBA, which is going to be completed by December. Can I apply now while completing my MBA, and by June what I can provide by, okay. Again, theoretically speaking, when you start the program, you will need to have your MBA or master degree completed, whatever, is it MBA or a master in a specific area. Theoretically speaking. Now, again, the details, I will leave that discussing the details to enrollment advisors to provide you with more precise feedback. But in general, I can say when you start the program, let's say the program will start January 11 or January, whatever. At the time you will start the program, your master degree must be completed, certificate or transcript should have been submitted to university. Tracy, okay, here we go. Kandarab, I finished my MBA in England 2007, 12-year experience. What want to do? Do you offer part-time online DBA program? I'm doing full-time job. Yes, thank you. The blended design, and thank you for the questions. It gives me the opportunity to reiterate important points. An important point I would like to re-highlight here, the DBA program designed as a blended program. What does that mean? It does mean that you can study and work. That is not part-time program, be careful. The program is considered as a full-time program, but delivered as a blended program. That means you will be able to continue your full-time study, but you will be doing your doctorate at the same time. It will be a little bit of pressure on you, a little bit of stress on you, but we designed the program in the way that help you to manage having both work and life. Why is that part-time? I could answer the question saying, yes, it's part-time. No, it's not part-time. It's considered full-time because a full-time doctoral degree, doctoral study, will make you eligible to apply for specific grants and scholarship. That's very important. Especially if you're in Canada, there are specific funding programs designed for full-time doctoral students. So the program is full-time, equivalent to a full-time program. But again, it's designed, uniquely designed as a blended program. Rabia, do you need to have a practical research topic before taking admission, or would it be chosen while doing the DBA program? That's an excellent question, Rabia. Yes, you need to have an initial research proposal, and that's part of the admission requirement. You will need to have that initial proposal. As part of the admission requirement. We will have next week another webinar to discuss how to write the research proposal. We just give you a little bit of tips and advices on writing your research proposal. But yes, we will need to have a research proposal as part of the admission requirement. And I'm sure my colleagues will give you the link where you can find the proposal requirement. Thank you, Rabia, for the question. Yeah, excellent presentation. Thank you so much for information. What are the different specialization of research topic are available? Well, thank you. Yeah, there is DBA program. It's a generalist program in the way that we are not talking about, specific specialization. We're not talking about, this is marketing specialization. It's more about the research problem that you will have, the practical problem that you're going to bring to the program. So I will say, to give you a quick answer, you're flexible in terms of the problem area as far as it's a management related problem area. Thank you, Yahya. And thank you, Imara. Yes, it is the upcoming DBA discussion workshop that will be next week, June 3rd, that we're going to discuss more. We will talk a little bit more about the research proposal and how to work on the research proposal. CMD, well, CMD, this is really a unique abbreviation, CMD. Hi, would like to know if you are open for school tour. I'm coming from France and would visit Canada sometime in August or September. Here you go. Welcome. I think that's a very interesting question, and I'm sure my colleagues Tracy and Kelsey will help you. Royal Road is one of the most beautiful campuses in Canada. And so I will defer this question to my colleague, but yes, of course, we're very happy to show you our university whenever you are around. How many students in each batch? We call it cohort, and cohort is between 12 to 18 students. That's the batch or cohort. Okay, there you go. Next slide, please, Amara. How are we doing on time? Okay, here we go. We're good. So program delivery milestones, key milestones. One of the most important milestones in the program is coursework. I did not write that here on the slide. The coursework is the first year. You finish your coursework. That's a big milestone. The second milestone, then dissertation supervisory committee. When you assign a supervisory committee to work with you, that's very important milestone, very important milestone. Choosing the right supervisor, it's a key success factor in doctoral study. Now, at Royal Road, in the DBA program, you could choose a supervisor from Royal Road, or you could also choose a supervisor from outside Royal Road. So we allow students to choose external supervisor, but certainly there will be some details that we need to discuss in terms of who will be the right person to work with you. So a dissertation supervisory committee is an important milestone, and let me reiterate again, the supervisory model at Royal Road allows students to choose external supervisors, so they are not limited to faculty member within Royal Road. You don't need to have a supervisor when you start the program. You will do the coursework, and I will work with each student on selecting and identifying right supervisor. That will be toward the end of the first year. The first year student will get through the courses, and they don't need to have supervisor in the first year. Again, the supervisor you will need to have a supervisor, or we start to think about supervisory committee toward the end of the first year. Comprehensive exam, Candidacy exam, and I did answer a question about it. It's after you finish your coursework, you will have a Candidacy exam. Candidacy exam is designed to give you opportunity to discuss the topics that you are involved in. Dissertation proposal, that's a final dissertation proposal. You will submit initial proposal, 2 to 5 page. That's part of the admission requirement. But over a year and a half, the first year and a half of the program almost, you're gonna study courses, you're gonna dive deep into the literature, and then you will write the final proposal and submit it to your committee. The committee will approve it. And then the final milestone, which is dissertation defense. So when you have the thesis and you defend your dissertation, final dissertation. Next slide. So we talk about competency outcome. Competency outcome, it's more, the program designed around specific competencies that you need to acquire during the program. It's not about specific knowledge. It's more about specific competency. It's a how. So we have two different levels of competency, the higher order competency and the lower order competency. Lower order competencies, you can see here, the communication skills, problem solving, global thinking, critical thinking, and working with others. These competencies you're going to learn through the courses, the first year. After first year, you will start diving deep into your research, and you will be in the process of acquiring higher order competencies. It's how to design applied research, how to build intensive, rigorous knowledge base, how to reflect on your experience, and how to contribute to existing practices. These kind of the competency that we expect the student to demonstrate through their research. Next slide, please. Now, I explained the program, but who are our students? Our students are working professionals. Again and again, I repeat that. Our students are working professionals. I do strongly recommend that you spend a few minutes reading the bios of our existing students. You will have a link that will lead to our existing students' website. We have a website where we feature our existing students. So please take a few minutes, look at our existing students, and you will learn who our students are. Our students are working professionals generally who aspire to be leaders in their field or sector. You do your master degree to be leader in your organization. Doctoral study will help you to be leader beyond an organization in your industry or field. Our students are professionals who wants to independently develop original impactful research on practice of management, and normally working full-time. Applicants need to have a relevant master degree. When we say relevant master degree, relevant to the research topic that they are interested in. They're coming from different walks of life, public, private sector. We have a number of colleagues, university professors, who don't have the doctorate, but they're doing DBA as part of their promotion in their university. We have private consultants and lifetime researchers, those who are very much interested in specific topics, and they spend their life advocating for a specific issue or specific topic. Next slide, please. Here you go. Student funding, and I know there's a lot of interest in this. But before going to student funding, let me just have a quick look at the chat to see if there is any question that I'm missing. Okay, I see the question from Candice. What's the difference between PhD and DBA? I did address this question, Candice. Thank you for asking it again. Again, PhD is a research, pure research program. DBA, it's oriented toward applied research. Through DBA, you can work and study. PhD is purely a full-time study. Okay, I'm looking for any other question. Ninika, please do international student get study permit? I'm sure this has been addressed. Regarding Rahir, regarding practical research, we have to choose before admission, and will there be any list from where we can choose? No, there will be no list. It's based on your experience, based on your reading, your research. You will come up with a practical research problem. Now, next week, we will have a webinar that we will discuss different ways to write a proposal and how you frame a research problem in a good doctoral proposal. Okay, with that, let me go through the student funding. Now, I understand the tuition fee of the program is not yeah, here you go. Tracy put the link to financial aid and award. The tuition fee of the program around $80-something thousand, but remember this amount is divided into 4 years, so it's not you will pay all this amount up front. So it's across the entire period of a study. Self-funding is very important source for funding, certainly, and I will strongly recommend that at least you have enough, even for those who will be considering external sources for funding. I still recommend that they consider the first year at least funding, at least to have the first year funding available, readily available for them. So self-funding is one of the sources. Internally at Royal Road, we have some internal program funding, small awards. This is very competitive. So last year we have, I think, 3 entrance awards that we give out to our student. Each it's $10,000. And this is a one-time award, could be renewed, subject to approval and the progress, academic progress. But what I would like to highlight here, the external funding opportunities. And as doctoral student, there are a lot of funding opportunities. And we say a lot, there are a lot of funding opportunity. And that depends on your area, if you are an international student or local or domestic student. Let me focus on the domestic student. Domestic student, there are also a lot of funding opportunities. And that depends on your topic as well. So if you're doing research in IT, there will be specific funding opportunity for IT related topics. For example, education, same way. Generally speaking, our student will find SHRC. It's a very prestigious funding agency. It's a tri-council funding agency, but the most accessible funding agency or body, it's MITEX. MITEX Accelerate. I'm going to talk a little bit about MITEX Accelerate. But in order to get more information about all different funding opportunities available for you, I strongly advise you to visit Royal Road Financial Aid website. They've done a great job by all means. It's not just like a simple website. You go, no, they've done a great job explaining all funding opportunities. This is personal effort. It's a personal choice. Well, a choice that I would like to pursue external funding opportunity. Now, this is not just an application you fill out. It's part of your learning, actually, how to write funding application. So part of the DBA program, you will learn how to write funding application. In the first residency, we will have workshops designed specifically to help you to write grants, what we call the grants. Next slide, please. I see Nika. Do I have to submit official transcript before I get admission? I would refer that to Tracy. Okay, so MyTech Accelerate. MyTech Accelerate, it is an example. It's an example of many of external funding opportunities available for students. I'm gonna go through this quickly. I see that I'm a little bit ahead of the time here. The MyTech Accelerate is $15,000 each 4 months as an internship. You will have a partner organization that contributes $7,500 then MyTech will match up the amount with $7,500 So technically, if you're doing, let's say, research in IT area, then you will have a company interested in your research, and they said, you know what, we would like to sponsor you. We will give you $7,500 then MyTech will give you $7,500. That worked very well, and almost we have like 3-4 students currently. They already fully funded by MyTech. To be more accurate, I think we have 3. If my memory doesn't fail me, and eligibility, full-time grad study at a Canadian university. It's this kind of opportunity is open for domestic student, international student. It's not limited to specific discipline or area. There are certain conditions that you need to coordinate with a partner organization, but again, there's a lot of flexibility around that. There is no minimum GPA requirements, all about the topic. So specifically, I mean, more generally, indeed, if you have a partner organization that will sponsor your research, certainly you will have a better chances, really good chance to get funded by MyTech. Next slide, please. Now, the partner organization is very important to have that partner organization, and that can be any organization, for-profit, non-for-profit. There is some limitation around government organization, so I wouldn't say government organization is part of that, but I will not exclude it right now. I would say if you have a specific interest in getting your research supported, please connect with us, and if you have specific organization you wanted to talk about, please connect with us and we will be advising you. There is no deadline, it's rolling admission. This is one of the many funding opportunity available for doctoral students as they doing their doctorate degree. Again, when it comes to funding, I understand that it's a big investment decision. I totally understand that. We understand that. We're not saying this is not a big investment. We understand that, but it's worth it, certainly. Especially this will be the highest degree you will have. Now, we advise you to consider funding very carefully, and at least to consider the first, at least to ensure that you have the first year funding available before you start the program. During the program, you will learn more about how to write grants, what different funding opportunities available for you, and so on. And you will have opportunity to apply to different funding agency if that's what you want to do. Yeah, next slide, please. I think that will be the last slide. Here you go, and that will be my last slide. And thank you very much, everyone. And I'm sorry if I miss any question. Imara, over to you.
Thank you so much, Hassan. That was really informative. And I think we answered a lot of the questions throughout. So by the time we get to the end of today's session, we'll probably only have a few questions left. So I'm going to be talking about how to apply. So admissions into the DBA program, as we've mentioned earlier, you are required to have a relevant master's degree from a recognized university, normally with a minimum of a B GPA, and normally a minimum of 7 years of relevant work experience that's full-time, with 5 years at the management level, with a demonstration of increasing levels of responsibility. And it is a competitive admission into the program. So key dates, make sure you write these down, and they're also on our website. The next intake is January 4th, 2022, and the application deadline is September 4th, 2021. So how to apply? You can apply for this program online. You start an application account using your email address, and the application fee is $126.28. And you're required to submit supporting documents. So I'll briefly go over the supporting documents. There's a very detailed form on the website for what you're required, and I know one of our enrollment team will pop that in the chat, but a quick overview. You are required to submit an official transcript. And for the submission of the official transcript, it's from all post-secondary currently or previously attended. And for it to be considered official, it does need to be submitted by the registrar or recognized authority in the institution, from the institution in a sealed envelope. So that's what it means to be an official transcript. And we also ask that you submit a detailed resume. And so this detailed resume will have more than just that 1 or 2 page that you would use to apply for a job. It's multiple pages, and it would include information such as your education, your professional experience in detail, like when you started, the duration, if you progressed in that position, volunteer or unpaid work experience, any professional membership or affiliations that you have. And this is also where you would add any other info that's relevant to your application to the program. We also do request or require an initial proposal, and we'll go into more detail. And I know we've been discussing this throughout. Make sure you attend next week research workshop, where we'll really dive into what this is all about. But your initial proposal, as well as 3 letters of reference. So for the 3 letters of reference, we're wanting from people who can attest to qualities about you, like your intellectual curiosity, your ethical behavior, what motivates you, your independent thinking, and also your motivation to complete the program. And ideally, 2 of these people can speak directly to your academic qualifications and your ability to conduct research. In addition, if applicable, we might be requiring a writing sample will be requested, and that this could be something like a thesis chapter, an academic or professional report, as well as an interview may be required with you to determine your suitability for the program. Financial aid, I know we discussed this in detail, so I'm just popping this up here so that you have the information if you'd like to go to the website, which we also have links in the chat, and definitely explore financial aid. And application support. So our enrollment advisors are here to support you. And we do understand that every single person here is coming to this journey with a different path. So if you have a question about your experience or where you fit into the program, or what it would look like for you, we do assess every single individual case by case. So reach out, connect with them, and ask those questions about your unique personal experience. So this is the contact information for taking that next step and connecting with enrollment. The top enrollment advisor's number there, and the learn.more@royalroads.ca is for domestic students. And then the bottom number for international admissions and registration, and email learn.more.international@royalroads.ca. That is for international students. And once again, I encourage everyone here to attend our workshop next week. The link is in the chat. I know we can pop it in there again. We'll be just really digging in and unpacking it. And I should mention, it starts at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, and it's on Thursday, June 3rd. Okay, looking at the time here, we have a few minutes till the end of today's session, but I wanted to open up the floor to any questions that we missed. And I know, Hassan, you were looking at the chat there, so I'll pass it over to you if you have some questions you can answer.
Thank you very much, Imara. I see a lot of questions about the admission requirements, and I see also my colleague Tracy and Kelsey addressing this question competently. So I better shut up on this, not to talk about this. I know they address this very competently, but overall, I just wanted to say something. We know this is a big investment. Again, not just money-wise, it's family-wise, it's career-wise, it's time-wise, it's a big investment. We understand that. And this is why we are here to tell you, don't worry, we understand that. And this is why we're gonna work with you step by step. This is why we have a second workshop. It's not a workshop, it's a session next week to give you advice on how to write the proposal. Some of you have been away from university for quite a long time, and that's totally fine. We understand that. This program is designed for working professionals, not for fresh graduate coming from master's degree. We understand that. So for those who feel, I'm not sure I'm going to write that proposal, like a 5-page, it's okay. Next week, we're trying to go through this details and go step by step and give you example about some proposals, not of course the written piece, but the content of the proposal, so you can mold your proposal accordingly and craft it accordingly. But beyond that workshops or session next week, when you have the draft proposal, feel free to send it our way and we will provide you comment. Or if you wanted to have a chat, send us email and we will set a time to talk about, next step. That's totally fine. The one last thing to mention here, the program has competitive admission. So it's really about two-way agreement. So we want to make sure that you also feel comfortable that's the right program for you, and we want to make sure that we are offering you the right program. So it's a long journey. It's not just like a few month journey. It's not another master's degree. No, it's a 4-year degree. So it's a long journey. I always tell my students it's a marathon. It's not sprint. So we make sure that we both on the same page as we're working together. And we start this process now, right now, before even you apply, and that's totally fine. So if you feel that it's time now to start the process, please feel free to send us email and we will work with you on that. Okay, that was my concluding remarks. I did not look at the chat. If there's any question here and I missed, but yeah, I see Zaki say thank you for the time, for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and for your interest in the DBA program at Royal Road. And we're looking forward to meeting you next week. And I personally looking forward to reading your proposals and research ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. And thank you everyone for being here today. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. And thank you to everyone behind the scenes supporting the questions and the Zoom room. Hope everyone has a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and we'll see you again soon.